It's about the people who have died this year cycling on London's roads. Kevin Lane, aged 52, in Woodford Green on the 8th of February. Mick Mason, aged 70, on the 15th of March on Regent Street. 32-year-old Victor Rodriguez at Ludgate Circus on the 3rd of April. Leon Richards at Clapham on the 5th of April, aged 26. And 47-year-old Admiral Kalayani at Elephant and Castle, right here on May the 13th.
We all make mistakes, but when a car driver makes a mistake, it can be lethal. The Irish poet and Nobel laureate Seamus Heaney's 7-year-old niece Rachel was killed by a driver while riding her bike in front of her family's farm on a May day 29 years ago. Every parent's nightmare. Heaney wrote this poem about that 1985 summer when Rachel was killed. And if you can imagine it, 150 years ago, these were fields. There was lavender and potatoes, exactly like the poem. And this is what we've got. No space at all left for anyone to walk and anyone to cycle. So the poem's called The Summer of Lost Rachel. Potato crops are flowering. Hard green plums appear on damson trees at your back door, and every buried briar is glittering and dripping. Whatever showers plout down on flooded hay and flooding drills. There's a ring around the moon. The whole summer was waterlogged, yet everyone is loath to trust the rain's soft soaping ways and sentiments of growth, because all confidence in summer's unstinting largesse broke down last May when we laid you out in white, your whited face gashed from the accident, but still, so absolutely still, the setting sun set merciless, and every merciful register inside us yearned to run the film back, for you to step into the road, wheeling your bright-rimmed bike, safe and sound as usual, across, then down the lane, the twisted spokes all straightened out, the awful skid marks gone, but no. So let the downpours flood our memory's riverbed until, in thick-webbed currents, the life you might have led wavers and tugs dreamily as soft-plumed waterweed which tempts our gaze and quietens it, ever recollects our need. So I say, politicians and the CEOs of companies that use our money to build our shared environment have to ask themselves all day long, are my decisions good enough for my family? Elephant and Castle? No. No, it isn't good enough.
Thank you.
Hello everyone. As Donica's just explained, Barchan was hit by a HGV on Upper Thames Street on Tuesday of last week. As we speak, he's currently laying in a London hospital bed, wondering where it all went wrong. He's prepared a few words for me to read, and these are his words exactly and completely unedited. As cyclists, our hearts are our engines, our bicycles an extension of our bodies. We choose the kindest form of transport. We allow our city to breathe instead of filling it with more pollution. And we benefit from being fitter, happier and more productive. Deaths and injuries from HGVs should not deter people from cycling, but encourage us in our struggle to ban them. HGV cabin redesigns to remove blind spots, more segregated cycle lanes and other measures must come as well to lower the number of cyclists being killed. It will be a challenge. Many will block reform, so it's up to compassionate cyclists like you to stay strong on the path to making the city a safer, happier and cleaner place. I don't want to experience the trauma of being run over by a HGV, and I don't want that for anyone else. Please help this wish come about. The time is now to make change happen. Let us be the ones to bring about a cycling renaissance in London. Cycle home safely.
Hey.
amazing. That speech was written in the hospital bed in London this week, and he's still there. And there's so many other people in hospital because of acts like this. This is the final speech. We're here today to mark what happened last week. Sometimes by mistake we use the word accident. This was not an accident. This was a designed-in killing. It was a killing that was designed in by failures by national government, by London's government, and by Southwark Council or local government. At national government, they allowed trucks, the HGV truck that did the killing. The government is opposing, including safety measures in the trucks that are on our streets. They could do it this month if they wanted to, and they have failed to do so, and that's why that truck was on that road last week. The European Union is trying to help us with new designs. Shamefully, positively, almost every single MEP voted for it, except London's UKIP MEP voted against it, along with the other UKIPs, to their shame. And the only other people who are opposing the change in European legislation is our coalition Minister for Secretary for Transport. Patrick Loughlin is proposing to try and block it at the European Council. We're calling you today to block him and make sure the European Union helps us. We were failed by TfL and the London Mayor because they spent £3 million on this junction 3 years ago, and they're telling the TV media today, they're telling the media people that they sorted this junction out. Anybody who cycles this junction wouldn't allow an 8-year-old to cycle this junction. It is not true, Mr. Daniels. You didn't sort this junction out. If you did, there would be this cycle bypass on every single left-hand turn. You failed us, and you must stop failing us, and you must get those emergency crews out and put these lanes in as soon as possible. And the second thing that London level are doing, they keep telling us they're spending a fortune on cycling. Why do they do that? Because they add up 10 years notional budget, and then they tell you, oh, we're spending £900 million on cycling in London, aren't we brilliant? But they never tell you the caveat. The caveat is 9 years' time and for 3 people's mayor's budgets into the future. And they don't tell you they're spending 30,000 million on a proposed new one single road in London. They don't tell you they're spending 18,000 million on one new railway in London. We are getting crumbs, and they're telling us we're getting loads. It's not true. We want real money spent on cycling like they do in Holland. And the final level of government that failed is Southwark Council. I've lived here for 26 years, and we have failed to see them on any administration, Tory, Lib Dem or Labour, they have failed to put the infrastructure in. But the last administration has a special place in my heart in terms of how angry I am. I could not believe I would live in London in the 21st century and have a local council say in their transport plan, quote unquote, they want greater interaction between road users. And they are opposed to segregation because they say having cyclists on the road will slow the traffic down. That is Southwark's current transport plan. They didn't build a single metre of cycle lane over the last 4 years since the last election, and they're up for election tomorrow. Remember it. We said to them 3 years ago, if you do that policy, you are asking 8-year-olds and 8-year-olds to slow HGV trucks, to slow buses, and it's not acceptable in the 21st century that our politicians are telling that. And we want it to stop today.
Yeah.
And so we have been failed at national, regional and local level, and the price being paid for is not just cyclists. 54 to 60 of us have died since the last election. But there's 300 pedestrians have been killed since the last election. 13,000 people have died from traffic pollution since the last election on London streets. And John Garthwaite, the professor from University of London who's standing there, has calculated that 11,000 people have died because they're afraid to cycle to work or to school or about their daily jobs. Every day we could put a pile of coffins along this road, around 25 to 30 every day from traffic violence, whether it's pedestrians, cyclists, people dying from lung and heart disease and obesity. It's time to end that, and I promise you, and everybody here today knows there is a solution to this. We don't have to endure this. Cycling is part of the solution. It's a gift. Cleaner air, cleaner planet, safer lives. So finally today, just to say thank you everybody, and on a positive, because we know cycling is wonderful. It's great, it creates people, it's healthy people, it creates communities, it creates happy kids. So let's finish today, and with thanks, but with 3 chairs, and those who are strong enough and want to do a lift, let's do a bike lift, and at the end of the 3 chairs we'll do a bike lift. So get ready, we're going to 3 chairs for cycling. Hip hip! Hooray! Another chair for cycling. Hip hip! Hooray! Another chair for cycling. Hooray! Thank you everybody, onwards and upwards.